So I got asked to make a Pally gameplay video, how I do Abyss and other dungeons with Pally. I'm going to show you this with a different part than the other funds, because that may not represent what you want to see as a help. This one is still pretty high, but that's the lowest pad I have at the moment. Like 82 heal, 78 magic heal, and decoy. Well, decoy does not really have any influence of the gameplay I'm showing. So, in fact, you can rush everything with Pally. Really everything, every dungeon. Also tombs. Well, okay, shadows would not be possible to rush, but you could still make the group a lot faster with your buff, and also safer with the healing. It's pretty nice. So what you do is basically just stay buffed if you can. If your pet is not good enough for that, then just buff when the boss is vulnerable or when you need HP or whatever. So here we found the mat lab. The next to come is then probably Sprite or Abyss. MATLAB is the same, you just go on, you stay buffed. Now you would not need a buff if you cannot heal all the time. You can also be fast like this to accelerate this a little bit. And when you have 2 hits, then you have to be buffed. Now you don't necessarily need to be buffed, but now boost yourself again. Of course, now you cannot just stand lazy around if nobody is there with an electric pad, but at least your decoy pad takes all the poisons on it. So you don't have to watch out too much for that. Oh. Well, with electric we wouldn't have to do this stage, but that doesn't matter. Now you also don't need to kill these minions, because they will respawn anyway as long as the boss is not vulnerable again. And now it's immediately dead. And whispered. Let's see if we can find an Abyss or Sprite. It's really like you can also circle these. You can dodge these, and the damage you get can easily be healed by Pally with your pet and with your ability. So here's the Abyss. If you want an Abyss just like rushing through it, you better be buffed all the time, because you never know what is behind the next wall and you want to get immediately healed, so you always run with full HP. If you cannot, you can either just take the risk, or you can also take a little break and just run like this now without buff. It's also fine, but as you see, I go pretty quick, lower HP than I want to be. So it could be useful to take a break. And if you're running back, of course, if you were in the wrong way, you don't need to be buffed. So here, just run in, kill the boss, take your loot, go away, whatever. It's not really hard. So now let's go for sprites. Without electric, that will of course take longer than with electric, because the boss is actually going to move. Wow, this is crazy. You better buff yourself before you run in there, like now, then you're fine. I wouldn't run in such a crowd without being buffed. That could end with the death of your character. Here we have sprites. Here you don't need to be buffed to rush, really not. The only thing that does damage is the sprite guards. And even those don't deal really much damage. So better start buffed at the boss, try to deal some damage at the beginning. Then it's hard to deal damage if it is not paralyzed by an electric pet or whatever. And then again, now you need to be buffed. That's all, in fact. So this is how I do dungeons with Pally. Of course, with my main pet, it goes still faster. Not the rushing part, but the killing the boss part. But with a pet like this, or even just max rare, you are fine. Just finishing this abyss now with my big fan. It's helping a lot. What also helps is to rotate a lot. I know in UDLs I don't rotate, I don't know why even, but in Abysses it helps a lot to dodge all the bullets that you should not just run through. Oh, this is stupid. All these ways were wrong and we'll have to go back to the main room. Sometimes it is even better to run through the lava. If there are too many bullets you would run through if you take the normal way. I also often run through lava just to shorten the way I have to run, because I'm lazy. Wow, looks like I find every dead end that is in this dungeon. So now let's see if my fan survives those few things following me. So thanks for watching this episode of gameplay with Pally, and see you next time.